Welcome back to the Hannity special, The Deep State in Panic. Hillary Clinton will just not go away. Today, she used the funeral of Congressman Elijah Cummings, a civil rights legend, a friend of mine, to take a thinly veiled shot at President Trump. Watch.
Elijah Cummings shared a name with an Old Testament prophet. Like that Old Testament prophet, he stood against corrupt leadership of King Ahab and Queen Jezebel.
Bad form. Joining us now for reaction, Fox News contributors Tammy Bruce and Charlie Hurt, as well as Women for Trump National Co-Chair Gina Loudon. Thank you for joining us. I don't want this to devolve into, what happened at this funeral, because I have too much respect for Elijah Cummings. Disagreed with him on everything politically, but I was a good friend of his, and I wish him and his family nothing but the best, and may he rest in peace. But Hillary Clinton, what is she thinking? I want to start with Gina. It's not just us at Fox News that are talking about her running again. It's her talking about running again, at least alluding to it. And Philippe Reigns, one of her closest advisors, came on this network and talked about this. But what is she thinking?
I think this is a desperate attempt to remain in some way relevant, Jason. It's all I can possibly imagine. It may be a desperate attempt to escape whatever it is she knows that Barr knows and his reason for reopening this investigation. She can't possibly think she could win. When she ran before, she ran on a smear campaign of Donald Trump saying all of the horrible things he'd do to women, and yet we know that Donald Trump has been the quintessential president for women. He has lowered unemployment to record lows for women. He has doubled the child tax credit. He has created 3 million jobs just for women in this country. He's been the women's president. She couldn't run on those scare tactics anymore. But we don't know what he might know, what Barr might know, that she knows he knows, and she may feel like she has to run to keep herself safe.
Charlie, what's your take on it? What is Hillary Clinton doing?
I think that, the arrogance of these people it knows no bounds. And Hillary Clinton has always believed that she would be America's first female president. And so the notion that she would have the crown knocked from her head, not once, but twice. Because, of course, the same thing happened in Iowa back in 2008 when with the rise of Barack Obama. But to go back to the funeral, and I agree with you, I don't want to dwell on it either. But there really is something beyond despicable when somebody takes an important, a beautiful service like that and stinks it up with their stupid, gross, selfish, idiotic, political, I don't even know what you call it. But it is so disgusting. I can't think of anything more despicable. And you have to be so imbued with the swamp, with politics, to think that something like that is acceptable at a reverential, important, beautiful service like the one that we saw today.
Tammy, you're joining me here in New York in studio. What's your take on what is Hillary Clinton doing?
Well, what you first asked was, what was she thinking? She's only thinking of herself.
Right.
This is, I think, a very good example when we talk about whether it was the memorial or her own comments about Tulsi Gabbard or the nature of other remarks that she's making. This remaining obsession, it is what she's always done. It's what politicians who've been running the establishment do. They've been the only ones that have mattered. The American people have not. The nature of their impact on others has not mattered. And she has been genuinely shocked because all of her life she has seen the system work for the next in line, that there was no reason to think that this would be different, and it was. But the reason they couldn't think that it was different is because they've been out of touch with Americans as a whole. So this needs to be, and I believe it to be, President Trump's election, one signal of a long-term reformation. And it is really this really pathological refusal to accept that. Now, the American people have accepted it. We're going to have another election, which is where we're going to be able to make our choices. But whether it's the impeachment or Hillary's behavior, you're seeing a level of confusion and collapse throughout the system that is clearly disturbing.
All right, I've got we got a hard out, so just a few seconds each. Gina, does Hillary Clinton run again? Do you think she runs, yes or no? And what kind of odds do you put to it? Quickly.
Her own party doesn't want her to run. I don't think she should run. I don't know. Her ego's so big, Tammy's probably right. She might just do it.
Charlie.
I don't think she runs, but man, I wish she would. It sure would be an enjoyable to watch her lose a third time.
The Republicans are saying that she should. I keep saying maybe she's actually working for Trump because she's so awful. but really, now we have some Senate Democrats saying, do not do it. So she's getting messaging now to step away.
Listen, Tammy, Charlie, Gina, have a wonderful Friday night. Thank you. We'll be right back.